Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video. In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the Tszyu versus Harrison fight. If you're new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you're doing like video, and let's get straight into it. So, going into this fight, Tszyu is 21-0 with 15 KOs, and Harrison is 29-3-1 with 21 KOs. This fight is for the vacant interim WBO World Super Welterweight title. Tszyu's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Costa, and Harrison's last fight was a win by unanimous decision versus Garcia. Harrison is the former WBC World Super Welterweight Champion after beating Charlo via unanimous decision in 2018. I know it was a bit of a controversial decision to some, but he still managed to do it, and he still managed to get the only defeats on Charlo's record. So fair play to him. Obviously, he did then lose that because his losses came against Charlo in 2019. He lost it via KO. He basically got showed that Charlo is the better fighter. Hurd in 2017 and Nelson in 2015 were also his other losses. Creditable losses. So Hurd at that point in time was a very good fighter and a very tough opponent, and Nelson also the same. Also on this card is Goodman versus Doheny for the IBF Intercontinental and WBO Oriental Super Bantamweight titles, in which I think Goodman will win via unanimous decision. Goodman, we just had him on the channel recently for an interview. Great guy, seems very motivated for this fight. Go back and watch that if you haven't already. He seems like he's going in with a very good mindset, and I mean Doheny, he's lost against opponents who I would class as weaker in the past, and I don't think he's at the height of his career that he once was, and so I think this is a very good fight for both fighters, but I do think that Goodman will be able to win via unanimous decision. This is in Tszyu's country and also Goodman's as well. Tszyu has good movement, has unexpected levels of power. What I mean by that is you don't see his shots kind of getting one punch power KOs, and you don't see his shots being overly powerful, but it will wear you down, and it looks like, to maybe not to the viewers, but it is very strong and will get you out of there after you take too many, because it has done in the past to his opponents, and that's what I mean by unexpected levels of power. He sets up his shots well with his jab. He is disciplined. He counters well. He has good shot selection, puts fighters onto the back foot. He continues to improve, and he is in his prime of his career. Similar things to an extent to what Harrison is. The counters well, the disciplined, the good shot selection, the wanting to put you onto the back foot. They're all similar kind of things to Harrison. That's why I think this is a good matchup. I know it was meant to be Charlo who's meant to be fighting, but this I still think is a good matchup. I just think it's the fact that Tszyu's in his prime, which will be something that he's definitely going to... I think whatever the outcome is, he's going to look his best, and he should look his best. And also the fact he's in his home country, that will definitely give him the backing. He has good movement. He has good conditioning as well. That is something that is also an important fact to note him compared to Harrison, who has the height and reach advantage. He is fast, skilled, puts together good combinations, is powerful, and has fast reflexes. He has high boxing IQ, walks you down, has natural ability, is a fast starter, can struggle in the later rounds though, as not conditioned amazingly. I mean, you didn't really see it in his most recent fight, but in the past, Harrison hasn't always looked the best in the later rounds, and Tszyu's gonna have to capitalize on that, because sometimes he can look better in the later rounds, Tszyu. So he's gonna have to just maybe take a couple of rounds of punishment to be able to give a few more rounds back of punishment in the later rounds, and maybe tire Harrison out on purpose. Harrison's also a counterpuncher, but he does look to be out of his prime to an extent. He is obviously more experienced at that, but I do think he is a bit more out of his prime, and he isn't where that point of where he was fighting the likes of Charlo. I don't think he could get back to that level, and I mean, if he beats Tszyu then maybe, but for the moment I don't think he can get back to that level. Them counterpunching, the good combinations, they're, like I said, all similar things to what Tszyu has. I think Harrison's height and reach, he's going to have to use that well, because I don't think he can let Tszyu try get behind his jab if he's the guy with that better height and reach, and that's something that he's going to have to work with. But overall, a good fight, a good matchup as well. Obviously, this was supposed to have Charlo in versus Tszyu, but he had to drop out through injury. I don't know what his injury is, to be honest, so I don't know how serious it is. But either way, this is a very good replacement. And I mean, the guy that beat Charlo to be facing Tszyu is a very tough opponent as well. Tszyu is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Tszyu will win via unanimous decision. I think it'd be a good close bout. I think them later rounds, Harrison will be struggling a bit, and Tszyu will get better with each round. And then come the championship rounds, he'll be dominating for them and maybe get a knockdown. And it'll still be relatively close, but I still think that Tszyu will be able to win. And then I mean, realistically, I think there's only really one option of who he could go on next to fight, and that being Charlo, as long as of course the injuries all fine and everything like that. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like if you did, like video, subscribe if you are new, and thanks for watching.